I had an interesting conversation with one of my contractors this morning. We spoke about business, we spoke about goals, we spoke about growing, and she had mentioned something to me about chaos, right? Her home may have felt just a little bit more chaotic than normal, or her phone felt chaotic, right? It took her time to look for things because everything was everywhere. And it got me thinking, we all think about business, right? How do we run it? What's the next move? What do I have to take away? What do I need to add on? So on and so forth. But I don't think that we realize the question that should be asked is, where do we start business? And in all honesty, I really believe, or I'm starting to believe, that business starts at home. Home is the foundation of where you start your business. If you live in a home that's super chaotic, I don't think that you're actually going to be able to maximize what you need to maximize for your business when everything around you is already chaotic. Your environment is chaotic. And in all honesty, I was there too. We recently welcomed home baby Adonai. And honestly, it really started to shift the perspective that I had, right? So it's like, what am I prioritizing? Where do I want to start from? Do I start from business backwards, or do I start from my home towards my business? And we had to adapt and make some changes. We started to declutter the whole house. I started to create newer systems inside of the house that actually relieved the stress or the pressure from those that actually live there, right? So we have a main living area and we have a pre-living area, right? When you first walk in. Well, we started to declutter, move furniture around, and make the space look more inviting. It's actually one of our favorite spaces now. We did the same exact thing with the kitchen. We're like, hey, we're just at a season where we need to focus on the family. And that's where my priorities are headed. I want to spend more time with them. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I also relieve the stress or the burden on those that are there throughout the day. One person being my wife. So of course we started to delegate certain tasks to our girls because they're already old enough, right? But at the same time, creating a new system within, let's say, the room of the kitchen, to where, again, my wife can focus on just being a mom. She doesn't have to go into the kitchen, worry about one thing, see another, get distracted, go do the next thing. And by the time she gets out of the kitchen, she's already completed 5 different tasks, right? I really wanted it to be easy on her, where she can go into the kitchen, focus on that one task, and come back out, and she doesn't have to feel the burden of having to take care of that, right? The same thing with our girls, right? And so if they had a dish day, again, we created a system where we actually relieve that burden. It's not to say that they don't wash dishes or they don't clean the kitchen. What I am saying is that it's a lot easier for them to do it. It doesn't require all of their time like it used to. And on the contrary, now they have more time, right? They can focus on other things. Let's just say, for an example, the floor, right? That's just something that we do in between the house, right? Anyways, but they can also focus on just being themselves, right? They can show up purely as them. They don't have to walk into the kitchen when it's their time and think, oh, I have to do this, and have that burden, right? They're still responsible, but we have a system now that actually relieved that stress. So how we function now is very different. We can actually show up for each other instead of having to show up just for the house to maintain it. They might be small changes for some, but for us, it made the world of a difference, honestly. My wife is less stressed out. I can see her smile. And for moms out there that have gone through this postpartum season in their life, I'm happy that I can at least support her by relieving her of some things that she would normally take on and still wants to take on, but that we could have built something where she feels like she's good. She doesn't have to worry. She's not stressed about the next thing that has to get done. On the contrary, we built the system well enough so far that she doesn't have to worry. And the same thing for our kids, right? We've tried out this system for the last 2 weeks, so it hasn't been too long, but it's working wonders, honestly. The one thing that I want to add is that once I started to clear up things in our home, whether that was decluttering, whether that was adding simple systems in our own home, I started to notice that my mind became clearer, meaning I wasn't focused on 10 tasks On the contrary, I was actually looking for the one task that was able to get me ahead or get our business ahead, right? So I wasn't dividing my attention between 10 different things that all had to get done. No, because the systems are in place, I can focus on the one thing that's actually going to start moving the needle. And if I'm gonna be honest, I probably work a little bit less than I used to work. The system seems to be working fairly well. And on top of that, the perspective of how I'm running the business and where I want the business to go has also shifted, because my priority are not the business as per se. My priority is my family, right? Now we're a family of 4, right? There's 4 kids inside of the house. My amazing wife that holds everything down on a day-to-day, and I got a good taste of it while I was there. And the last thing that I want is to prioritize my business over them. They are super important to me. I want to challenge you. Don't just organize your business. Organize your life. Organize your home. Your home is your safe place, right? It's the place where you come into to have peace at the end of the day, right? You don't want to come into a chaotic home which leaks into your business. No, you want to have a more organized, stable home, so that also leaks into your business. Your business is only as strong as the environment that you return to every single day.